James Fuduwa is here with Church Militant. James, I love when you're there, brother. I love your smile. I like your enthusiasm. What's going on over at Church Militant, brother?
We're actually celebrating a little anniversary of ours today, so I'll get into that later. But yeah, we're all eating cake and
Wow.
joking around and having a blast. So it's pretty awesome around
Well,
here.
I'm excited. You know what? I'm going to throw you a curveball. I've been just asked by your organization to come in August to speak at one of your events, and I'm happy to do that, to talk about evangelization. I was just pointing out, James, that record high 50% of Americans realize that the moral values in a country are going south and are bad. Matter of fact, that's what they say, they're bad, but 78% think that the moral values are getting worse. That's why Church Militant for NPR, we need to be proclaiming the gospel loudly right now. But tell us, James, what's going on with tonight's news? What are your topics?
So I want to bring up a story from Germany. You said kind of in our country, morals are going downhill, but certainly in Germany, that is exactly the same, if not even more so, especially within the church. They've got the Der Synodal Weg, or the synodal way that they're doing right now. And a theologian who was working in the synodal way actually left like a main portion of the synodal way because they weren't really listening to her, which I thought was kind of ironic, because the whole point of the synodal way that they're putting out is, we want to listen to people, we want to go to the margins, we want to hear what everyone has to say, but they're not listening to this theologian, this faithful theologian, who's trying to uphold church teaching on homosexuality and all this stuff. So she had to leave because they weren't doing what they said they were going to do.
James, I have to say, after 43 years of being in evangelization, I have been kicked out of so many meetings at churches because of that very thing. I had the orthodox position and they didn't want to hear it. And, I see that going on all my life. And so I'm not surprised. What else do you have going on, James?
Well, a little bit more of a good story here. We got Eucharistic processions going around in California. We got San Francisco, which of course is Archbishop Cordileone. He's an absolute rock star over there. In Sacramento, Bishop Soto. And a bunch of others are holding these Eucharistic processions, sort of just bringing a much needed light to California. I remember we did a story yesterday on California wants to become a sanctuary for child mutilation, these like gender reassignment surgeries. On top of that, they're also the abortion sanctuary of the nation. So double whammy right there. So thank goodness these bishops are leading the flock and trying to bring Christ to that truly fallen state.
James, you guys have some great material on the Eucharist. I remember watching years ago, Michael Voris, he had a whole series on the Eucharist. I would encourage people to listen to that, because we need to be grounded in our faith in the Eucharist, because like the Second Vatican Council says, it's the source and summit of the Christian life. If we don't get the Eucharist right, we get nothing right.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our premium content is stellar. I've watched a lot of it myself. I can't watch all of it yet because it's just so much, but $10 a month for a premium membership, you get all of that stuff. And it's really great, educational, and form your spiritual life, I think, a lot.
James, the third topic, I don't remember, 10 years ago. It seems like it was just yesterday, but years go by fast. You guys officially took the name Church Militant. Give us, for those who don't know the whole background, kind of give us a summary of, the years that you've got. I know you came recently, but let's get a summary. What's so significant about 10 years ago?
Yeah, so we were originally a Real Catholic TV, and the bishop, Archbishop Vigneron, told us that it was wrong for us to include Catholic in our title. So we had to take that down, and then Church Militant was born. And on set tonight, we'll actually have the man himself who started it all, Michael Voris. He'll be on giving us the rundown of what happened with that, all the details, and exactly how that went down. So I won't give it away here, that's basically the summation of it right there. Is we had Real Catholic TV, and we couldn't, as proclaim ourselves
Right.
as Catholic any longer because the bishop didn't like it.
Well, I'm going to tell you a quick story. Years ago, Cardinal Mahoney did that to me. We're called the Catholic Resource Center, and wrote me a letter, and we were in St. Joseph Communications, and I've never publicly told the people the story, but I'll just briefly tell you. When the letter came from Cardinal Mahoney saying that I needed to turn everything over to his diocese, at the time we were quite powerful arm in the Church of Evangelization, I ended up getting a canon lawyer. Father Benedict Rochelle helped me out on that. And when we wrote back to Cardinal Mahoney through my attorney and said, Mr. Barber would be happy to acquiesce to any request, could you tell me what canon you're referring to? And of course they didn't. That was just a threat to me. Now, that's publicly saying, but that's how mean some of these guys in the church can be to us lay people. But I think that what we need to do is have respect for their office, but we also have to tell them the truth. And sometimes we got to tell them to back off because they don't have that truth and they're just trying to bully us. And I think that what Church Militant has done today now is made the point where some of these bishops are like scared of Church Militant. I mean, honestly, they're like, oh, don't get them out. They're going to tell. Yeah, you know why? Because some of these bishops are doing wrong things. It's like a kid. He gets caught putting his hand in the cookie jar. And that's what you're doing right now. I know it's not an exact analogy, but you're catching these bishops doing things they shouldn't be doing. And they're saying, you can't do that. Well, I say, expose them for what they are, and ask them to repent. I've heard Michael say, repent of what you're doing, Bishop. You're wrong. You're leading souls to hell. Now, that takes guts, and that's what Church Militant does. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, as you said, Terry, we started this way, and it sounds like you started the same way. We were just trying to evangelize and bring the authentic Catholic faith to people who haven't heard of it before or maybe left. That's all we started doing, and then that is what we got, on the bishop's bad list for.
Yeah.
It's not because we're exposing their corruption. We didn't start off doing that. It started off just trying to, like you said, evangelize society, and that's what they came cracking down on us for. So.
Yeah. Well,
what do you do at that point?
I would just say, James, keep doing what you're doing. And again, is there anything else that maybe our listeners can help? Again, make a little $10 a month. What are the benefits for that premium?
Well, our sort of flagship show, The One True Faith, awesome show. I've seen many of those episodes. I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but it's just sort of Michael Voris just going through different aspects of the Catholic faith, angels. He touches on everything. But it's not just that show. It's thousands almost of other shows, catechesis, apologetics, that'll really up your knowledge of Catholic teaching, and I think absolutely strengthen your spiritual life and draw you closer to God.
Awesome. James, I want to thank you for coming on here at the Terry and Jesse Show on Virgin Most Powerful Radio. We consider you as a partner when it comes to sharing the gospel, and I thank you for your commitment once a week to come on our show.
Absolutely, no problem. Thank you, Terry.
God love you.